technology is helping with the progression of nearsightedness, and it's available here. Vision Source Mandan has a new lens that can help. Dr. Brittany Schauer is here to tell us all about it. Good morning to you, doctor.
Good morning.
Optometry, a little complex, I think, in my eyes. I guess no pun intended there. I'm sure you're used to a lot of those puns.
Yeah.
But your eyesight, changes throughout the years, right? And where does nearsightedness come into play? Can you be born with that, or can you develop that, or is it coming with older age?
Yeah. Of course, with anything, there's exceptions to the norm, but most commonly nearsightedness is going to develop usually in children. It's going to vary a little bit on the age of onset, but usually 8, 9, 10, 11 would probably be the most generalized population that we'll see where that starts to pop up.
Okay, and then it kind of just follows you throughout the rest of your life then, or how does that work?
Majority of people, once you're nearsighted, you are now nearsighted.
Okay.
And now it can increase, it can change as you grow, as they age, but typically once you're nearsighted, unless you later in life have surgical correction or something, you're going to be nearsighted.
Okay, interesting. Now that's the nearsightedness, that's like the simple term for it is myopia, right?
That's the medical term that we use.
That's the medical term then.
The easy way I like to describe it, that person, they cannot see across the room unless they have their glasses or contacts on to help them see clearly at the distance.
Okay, so would you say that 10 to 11 age range is kind of like the most critical part to kind of find this then? Or like when you said you first start seeing it?
And every kid's different on when it first pops up, but that's just kind of what the literature tells us is kind of the most common ages.
So then how would, at 10 and 11, you can obviously talk and tell your mom or dad that, hey, something might not be right, but as a parent then, what would be some of those signs like, hey, I should probably come in and follow up with an optometrist?
Yeah, usually things they'll know, the child will just get closer to things, because if they can't see them at distance, well, if you get closer to it, then you can see it. Maybe their teacher notices some problems in school where they can't see the board. So those are usually some of the early signs that the eyes are starting to change.
Okay, and then I'm taking it that some of the early recommendations that you would say is like, okay, it's time for a pair of glasses. Or like you said, eye surgery down the road, maybe, depends right on the situation. But are there specific types of glasses now that you would be needing?
Yes, and we're so excited about it because we've been waiting for years for this to get FDA approved. So, but right, when the kids come in, we're like, oh, here's a pair of glasses. Well, see you next year, it's gonna be worse. And so now we're just excited that with these glasses, we can actually slow the progression, help that child not be as nearsighted as they maybe could be by reducing it and slowing it. So the lens that we use is made by a company called Essilor, and it's their Essilor Stellest.
Okay.
It was FDA approved on September 25th, and our labs got it into production in November, so we're super stoked about that. We've got kind of our first group of kids in it, so it is brand new stuff, but we've had a similar technology in a contact lens for the last 4 or 5 years that has performed exceptional, so we're really excited for these glasses to work just as well.
Okay, so I guess the burning question is, what's different about those lenses though? Is it a little bit more curved, not as curved, or like what exactly does that entail then?
Think about it this way, if I had a projector and I was going to project an image onto a screen, well, that screen's flat, you just got to focus the lens in to get that screen in focus. Well, your retina is round. Sure, we're trying to get that image focused on what's called the macula in the back of the eye for everything to really be sharp and clear, but the rest of your retina is getting a blurry image. So with the Stellest, their technology, they basically have kind of different powers called lenslets moving into the lens, and it's going to get that retina in focus all the way around. The entire retina has a clear image, and that's one of the major theories on how it slows that progression is if the whole retina has a clear image, the eye's not going to grow, it's not going to go looking for it.
So are you kind of saying that a normal pair of glasses is just like a part of the eye?
Yep,
versus
a normal pair of glasses is only going to get just the very back of the eye called the macula into focus, which is your source of your 20/20 vision.
Okay.
But if the rest of the retina is blurry, that's just going to stimulate that eye basically to keep getting more nearsighted, getting longer, and have that myopia keep getting worse.
Okay, and we're talking more like for adults too. You can also get these pairs of glasses too, or
you could.
Okay.
Now, Do I see some adults that their nearsightedness is getting worse?
Yeah.
Yes, but definitely the bulk of it is going to be in kids. That's when the majority of change is happening.
Okay, and so you have like 30 seconds here, doctor, to say like, don't hold back on this. If you have other issues, like why hold?
Yeah, you know, the thing I say, what else do you allow to get worse in your child?
Yeah.
Nothing. You would do whatever you could to keep them as healthy as you can, eyes included.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Where can we find Vision Source Mandan?
We are on the very end of Main Street in Mandan, kind of by the runnings over there. You can find us online or you can give us a call.
Easy enough, and book appointments. Love it. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Keep it here, Central Dakota Humane